How to Lead with Confidence, The Secrets of Great Leaders, presented by Boundless Books Audio. Introduction. Welcome to Boundless Books Audio, your home for powerful audiobooks that transform the way you think, live, and lead. If you're here, it means you're ready to grow, and this audiobook will give you the confidence to become the kind of leader people admire, trust, and follow. Whether you're leading a team, a business, a family, or simply leading yourself through life, the principles in this audiobook will give you the clarity, courage, and confidence to lead with purpose. Leadership isn't reserved for CEOs or public figures. Leadership is a mindset. It's how you show up in the world, how you face challenges, influence others, and stay true to your values when it matters most. In today's fast-paced, uncertain world, confident leadership is more important than ever. People crave direction. They want authenticity. They follow strength, not in the form of dominance, but in clarity, consistency, and conviction. In this audiobook, How to Lead with Confidence, The Secrets of Great Leaders, you'll discover what separates average leaders from great ones. We'll explore how to build unshakable self-belief, how to communicate with authority, how to lead under pressure, and how to inspire those around you to rise to their full potential. You don't need to have all the answers to be a great leader. But you do need to believe in your ability to grow, to serve, and to lead with integrity. And that's exactly what we're here to help you do, so get ready to unlock your inner leader. Hit play, open your mind, and let's get started. Chapter 1: What Makes a Leader? Leadership is not a job title. It's not a corner office, a big salary, or a name on a door. Leadership is a mindset, a decision to rise when others sit back, to speak when others stay silent, and to act when others hesitate. True leaders are not defined by power, but by purpose. They don't wait to be asked, they take initiative. They don't demand respect, they earn it. What makes a leader isn't perfection or charisma. It's character. It's the ability to stay grounded under pressure, to stay true under criticism, and to keep moving forward even when the path isn't clear. Great leaders aren't born with magical abilities. They're forged through experience, challenge, and reflection. They're made by the tough choices they're willing to make, and the values they refuse to compromise. A real leader has vision, not just for themselves, but for others. They see potential where others see problems. They bring out the best in people, not by forcing them, but by believing in them. They lead by example, because the strongest message you'll ever send is your actions. Leadership starts with self-awareness. You can't lead others if you can't lead yourself. Confidence, discipline, emotional control, these aren't luxuries. They're requirements. If you want to be a great leader, you must first master the inner game. That's where leadership begins. Not in a boardroom. Not in a meeting. But in your own mind. So ask yourself, are you willing to grow into the person others can count on? Are you willing to step up when it matters? Because leadership doesn't wait for permission. It begins the moment you decide to own your voice, your vision, and your values. That is what truly makes a leader. Chapter 2: The Confidence Leadership Connection. Confidence is the foundation of great leadership. Without it, your voice shakes, your decisions falter, and your influence fades. But when you lead with confidence, people listen, not just to your words, but to your presence. Confidence isn't about arrogance or pretending to know everything. It's about being grounded in who you are, what you stand for, and where you're going. A confident leader doesn't need to dominate a room, they command respect by the way they carry themselves. Their energy speaks before they do. They don't panic under pressure. They stay calm, centered, and clear. That calm becomes contagious. Teams thrive under confident leadership because it brings certainty in uncertain moments. People don't follow leaders who doubt themselves. They follow those who believe deeply, not just in their own ability, but in the mission, the team, and the vision ahead. Confidence allows you to take risks, make tough decisions, and bounce back from failure. It gives you the courage to speak the truth, even when it's hard. And most importantly, it gives others permission to step into their own power. Confidence is not something you're born with, it's built. It's a muscle that grows through action, reflection, and consistency. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build it. Every time you rise after a setback, you strengthen it. The more you lead with courage, the more natural confidence becomes. And once you have it, you become unstoppable. Leadership and confidence are not separate, they are inseparable. To lead powerfully, you must believe in your ability to make a difference. And that belief starts now, with you choosing to own your space, trust your voice, and rise like the leader you were meant to be. Chapter 3: Lead yourself first. Before you can lead anyone else, you must first learn to lead yourself. This is where true leadership begins, not in the spotlight, but in solitude. The greatest leaders don't just manage others well, they master their own thoughts, habits, and emotions. Leading yourself means taking full responsibility for your life. It's about making disciplined decisions when no one is watching. It's about showing up, even on the days you don't feel like it. If your inner world is in chaos, your outer world will reflect it. But when your mindset is strong and your actions are intentional, you become a leader worth following. Self-leadership is the art of self-discipline. It's saying no to distractions and yes to growth. It's being honest with yourself about your weaknesses while still having the courage to rise. You can't expect others to be focused, driven, and committed if you aren't living those values yourself. People don't follow words, they follow behavior. The best leaders set the standard by living it every single day. Leading yourself also means managing your energy. It means protecting your peace, setting boundaries, and staying grounded in your mission. You can't pour into others if your own cup is empty. Your influence begins with your integrity, how you lead when no one is clapping. So ask yourself, are you setting the example you would want others to follow? Are you building a life that reflects leadership? Not just in public, but in private? Leadership starts with ownership. If you want to inspire, guide, and elevate others, you must first conquer yourself. Lead your thoughts. Lead your actions. Lead your life. Because the first and most important person you'll ever lead is you. Chapter 4: Communicate with clarity. Great leaders know this. Unclear communication leads to uncertain results. If your message is foggy, your team will be confused. If your vision isn't clear, your direction will be questioned. Clarity is power, and every confident leader knows how to communicate with precision, purpose, and presence. Communication isn't just about talking, it's about being understood. It's not about saying more, it's about saying what matters. A strong leader simplifies the complex and brings order to chaos. When they speak, people listen, not because their voice is the loudest, but because their message is sharp, relevant, and aligned with action. To lead with clarity, you must first think with clarity. Know what you want. Know what you stand for. Know what outcomes you expect. When your thoughts are organized, your words become impactful. Clear communication builds trust, eliminates confusion, and creates momentum. It ensures that everyone is rowing in the same direction, and that matters more than you think. Whether you're giving instructions, sharing feedback, or inspiring action, your words must be intentional. Choose them wisely. Don't ramble. Don't soften the truth. Say what needs to be said, with confidence, respect, and conviction. The best communicators don't just talk, they listen. They read the room. They pay attention to body language, tone, and timing. Communication is connection, and connection only happens when people feel heard, seen, and valued. So if you want to lead well, learn to speak clearly and listen deeply. Practice getting to the point. Practice slowing down when it matters. Practice being direct without being harsh. Because in the end, it's not just what you say, it's how you say it. And a leader who communicates with clarity leads with power. Chapter 5: The Power of Vision. Every great leader starts with a vision. Not just a goal, not just a plan, but a powerful, vivid picture of what could be. Vision is what separates leaders from managers. Managers maintain, leaders inspire. A compelling vision gives purpose to the present and meaning to the mission. It turns ordinary effort into extraordinary action because people are not driven by tasks, they're driven by purpose. When a leader communicates a vision with clarity and passion, they unlock belief in others. People begin to see what the leader sees. They buy into a future that doesn't exist yet, but feels possible, because the leader believes in it so deeply. Vision fuels motivation. It creates alignment. It helps teams make decisions based not just on what's urgent, but on what's important. Without vision, people drift. They lose focus. But with vision, there's direction. There's a reason behind every action. Great leaders don't just have vision, they live it. They speak it daily. They act in alignment with it, even when it's inconvenient or difficult. Your vision must be more than words, it must be woven into everything you do. And here's the truth, your vision doesn't have to be grand to be powerful. It just has to be clear, meaningful, and authentic to you. Whether you're leading a company, a team, or your own life, ask yourself, what do I see that others don't? What future am I willing to fight for? What kind of impact do I want to create? That's your vision. Own it. Declare it. Protect it. Because when you lead with vision, you give people more than a task, you give them something to believe in. And that belief, fueled by clarity and confidence, is what drives real leadership forward. Chapter 6: Make Decisions with Authority. The true test of leadership shows up in moments of decision. Every leader faces crossroads, moments where hesitation can derail progress, and bold action can shape the future. Great leaders don't just make decisions, they make them with authority. They don't wait for perfect conditions or universal agreement. They gather the facts, trust their judgment, and move forward with confidence. Leadership is not about having all the answers, it's about having the courage to decide when it counts. Indecision creates confusion. It erodes trust. When people look to you for direction, they need clarity, not doubt. A confident leader stands firm, not recklessly, but responsibly. They are willing to take ownership of the outcome, good or bad. They understand that leadership means being accountable, not just popular. To make decisions with authority, you must learn to trust your instincts and your preparation. Learn from your failures, but don't be paralyzed by them. Accept that not every decision will be perfect, but understand that no decision at all is worse. Strong decision-making also means knowing when to listen. Great leaders are not dictators, they are discerners. They seek input, evaluate carefully, then act decisively. When a decision is made, they communicate it clearly and stand behind it. This builds confidence in the team and momentum in the mission. You lead by how you choose, not just what you choose. So practice being decisive. Practice staying calm in uncertainty. Practice owning your choices. Because the leader who makes decisions with authority creates direction, inspires trust, and keeps everyone moving forward, even in the face of doubt. That is the power of confident, courageous decision-making. That is the mark of real leadership. Chapter 7. Inspire, don't control. The greatest leaders don't force people to follow, they inspire them to believe. Control may get obedience, but inspiration builds loyalty. Leadership is not about micromanaging every move or demanding compliance through fear. It's about creating an environment where people want to rise, contribute, and grow. When you lead with inspiration, you light a fire within others, not just to meet expectations, but to exceed them. Control is based on insecurity, inspiration flows from confidence. A controlling leader is afraid of losing power, while an inspiring leader empowers others to step into their own. People don't want to be managed, they want to be motivated. They want to feel seen, heard, and valued. They want to know that their work matters and that they're part of something bigger. That sense of purpose fuels performance more than any rule or punishment ever will. To inspire, you must first lead by example. Show integrity, passion, and discipline in everything you do. Speak with purpose. Listen with intent. Recognize effort, celebrate progress, and encourage potential. Your energy sets the tone. When you operate from vision and confidence, others will feel it, and they will want to follow. You don't have to push people when you've already pulled their hearts forward. True leadership is about influence, not authority. It's about drawing out the best in people, not forcing it out of them. So ask yourself, are you inspiring or just instructing? Are you building people up or just keeping them in line? The answer defines the kind of leader you are, and the legacy you leave behind. Choose inspiration. It lasts longer, reaches deeper, and creates a team that doesn't just follow orders, but follows you because they believe in the mission, and more importantly, in you. Chapter 8. Build emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is one of the most critical skills a leader can develop. It's the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions while also tuning into the emotions of others. Leaders with high emotional intelligence don't just make smarter decisions, they create stronger connections. They build trust, resolve conflicts peacefully, and inspire loyalty. Emotional intelligence begins with self-awareness, knowing how your feelings affect your thoughts and actions. A leader who can pause, reflect, and regulate their emotional responses commands respect and steadiness, especially under pressure. But emotional intelligence goes beyond the self. It's about empathy, seeing the world through others' eyes and genuinely caring about their experiences. When you understand what motivates your team, what worries them, or what excites them, you can lead more effectively. You can adapt your approach, communicate with greater impact, and build a culture where everyone feels valued. Emotional intelligence also means managing relationships with kindness and assertiveness, balancing compassion with clear boundaries. It allows leaders to handle difficult conversations with grace and turn challenges into opportunities for growth. Unlike technical skills, emotional intelligence is less about knowledge and more about practice. It's developed over time through reflection, feedback, and intentional effort. The leaders who master this skill don't just lead tasks, they lead hearts and minds. They foster resilience, collaboration, and a positive environment where people are inspired to bring their best. In a world driven by change and uncertainty, emotional intelligence is the steady compass that keeps leadership effective and authentic. If you want to lead with confidence, building your emotional intelligence isn't optional, it's essential. Chapter 9: Confidence through Competence. Confidence is not just a feeling, it's a byproduct of competence. The more skilled, knowledgeable, and prepared you are, the more naturally confident you will feel as a leader. Competence builds a foundation that steadies your mind and empowers your actions. When you truly know your craft, you don't hesitate or second-guess yourself. You make decisions with assurance because you understand the subject, the process, and the consequences. This is why great leaders commit to constant learning and growth. They know their confidence depends on it. Competence comes from experience, education, and a willingness to push beyond comfort zones. It's about mastering the basics first, then refining your skills to handle more complex challenges. But competence alone is not enough. You must also be humble enough to admit what you don't know and courageous enough to seek help or advice when needed. This combination of skill and humility creates a powerful leadership presence. When people see your knowledge and your openness, they trust you more. Confidence rooted in competence isn't arrogance, it's quiet assurance. It's the calm in the storm that reassures your team they're in capable hands. If you want to lead with confidence, invest in yourself. Study your field. Practice your skills. Learn from mistakes and successes alike. The better you become, the more naturally confidence will flow, and when that happens, leadership becomes less about fear and more about impact. Remember, competence creates the platform, but confidence is the energy that lifts you and your team higher. Build your skills, and watch your confidence soar. Chapter 10: Handle criticism like a leader. Criticism is inevitable in leadership, it comes with the territory. How you handle it, however, sets you apart as a leader. Instead of shrinking away or reacting defensively, great leaders see criticism as an opportunity to grow. They don't take it personally, they listen carefully, extract the truth, and use it to improve themselves and their teams. Handling criticism well requires confidence and emotional maturity. When you respond calmly and thoughtfully, you demonstrate control and openness, qualities that earn respect. It's important to separate constructive feedback from destructive comments. Constructive criticism is a gift, an insight that can refine your skills or your approach. Destructive criticism, on the other hand, is often rooted in misunderstanding or emotion. Leaders learn to filter out noise while still remaining receptive to valuable lessons. Responding defensively or with anger not only damages your credibility but also discourages others from speaking honestly. When you show that you can take feedback with grace, you create a culture of transparency and continuous improvement. Moreover, handling criticism like a leader means owning your mistakes. Admitting when you're wrong builds trust far more than pretending to be perfect. It shows humility and accountability, two core pillars of strong leadership. Remember, criticism isn't a threat, it's a tool. Use it wisely. Reflect on it, adapt when needed, and keep moving forward with confidence. The leaders who master this skill don't just survive criticism, they thrive because of it. They become stronger, wiser, and more respected. So next time criticism comes your way, embrace it as part of your leadership journey, knowing it's helping you become the leader you were meant to be. Chapter 11: The Art of Listening. Listening is one of the most underrated yet powerful skills a leader can master. True leadership isn't just about speaking confidently or making decisions, it's about hearing what others have to say. The art of listening means giving your full attention, not just waiting for your turn to talk. When you listen deeply, you gather insights, build empathy, and foster trust. People want to be heard. They want to know their ideas and concerns matter. A leader who listens well creates an environment where open communication thrives and innovation flourishes. Listening also helps you avoid costly mistakes. By understanding different perspectives, you make better decisions and anticipate challenges before they arise. But listening is more than hearing words, it's about tuning into emotions, body language, and the unspoken messages behind the words. This kind of active listening requires presence and patience. It means putting aside distractions and showing genuine interest. Leaders who master this skill show humility, they acknowledge that they don't have all the answers and that others' voices are valuable. They invite collaboration and empower their teams. Moreover, listening well helps manage conflicts effectively. When people feel understood, tensions ease and solutions become possible. If you want to lead with confidence, sharpen your listening skills. Practice being fully present in conversations. Ask questions that show you care. Reflect back what you hear to confirm understanding. The art of listening isn't passive, it's a dynamic tool that builds connection, respect, and influence. When you listen with intention, you don't just hear words, you hear the heart of your team. And that is the foundation of great leadership. Chapter 12: Stay calm in the storm. Leadership is often tested most during crises and challenges. When everything seems chaotic, the leader's demeanor sets the tone for the entire team. Staying calm in the storm isn't about ignoring problems or pretending everything is fine, it's about maintaining composure so you can think clearly, make smart decisions, and guide others through uncertainty. A calm leader reassures the team that the situation is under control, even when it feels overwhelming. This steady presence creates a sense of safety and focus, preventing panic and confusion from spreading. Staying calm requires emotional regulation, the ability to manage your own stress and anxiety despite external pressure. It's a skill developed through self-awareness, preparation, and practice. Leaders who master this don't react impulsively, they respond thoughtfully. They focus on solutions, not problems. They break down overwhelming issues into manageable steps and communicate clearly to keep everyone aligned. Staying calm also means showing empathy. In tough times, people need to feel understood and supported, not dismissed or rushed. By listening and validating concerns while staying composed, you build trust and resilience. Remember, calmness is contagious. When you maintain your cool, it inspires others to do the same, creating a united front ready to face challenges head-on. So, next time the storm hits, take a deep breath, steady your mind, and lead with confidence. Your calmness will be the anchor that helps your team navigate through the chaos toward calmer waters and eventual success. Chapter 13: Build a culture of confidence. Leadership isn't just about your own confidence, it's about creating an environment where confidence flourishes in everyone around you. Building a culture of confidence means fostering a team where individuals feel empowered to take initiative, share ideas, and tackle challenges without fear of failure or judgment. Confidence is contagious, and when you intentionally nurture it within your team, you unlock incredible potential. To build this culture, start by encouraging open communication and celebrating effort, not just results. When people know their contributions are valued, even when they make mistakes, they become bolder and more creative. Psychological safety is key. Team members need to trust that they won't be ridiculed or punished for speaking up. Great leaders model this by being approachable, transparent, and supportive. They give constructive feedback that uplifts rather than tears down. They recognize individual strengths and create opportunities for growth and learning. Additionally, confidence grows when people feel equipped and prepared. Providing training, resources, and clear expectations helps reduce uncertainty and boosts self-assurance. Celebrate successes publicly and learn from setbacks privately to keep morale high. A confident culture also encourages collaboration rather than competition, so people feel safe sharing ideas without fear of being overshadowed. When confidence is ingrained in the team's DNA, it fuels resilience and innovation. People aren't just going through the motions, they are engaged, motivated, and ready to lead themselves. Remember, your role as a leader is to be the catalyst that sparks this confidence. By believing in your team and showing it through your words and actions, you create a thriving environment where everyone can shine. That is the hallmark of truly transformative leadership. Chapter 14: Delegate with Trust. Delegation is a vital skill that separates great leaders from micromanagers. To lead with confidence, you must learn to delegate effectively, and that means trusting others to take responsibility and deliver results. Delegating doesn't mean offloading tasks you don't want to do, it means empowering your team by giving them ownership and the chance to grow. When you delegate with trust, you show confidence not only in your own leadership but in the capabilities of those around you. This builds morale, motivation, and accountability. However, trusting others enough to delegate can be challenging, especially if you fear mistakes or loss of control. The key is to choose the right tasks to delegate and assign them to the right people based on their strengths and potential. Clear communication is essential. Set expectations, provide necessary resources, and establish checkpoints for progress without hovering. Remember, delegation is not abdication. You remain responsible for the outcome but empower others to shine through their contributions. Trusting your team to deliver boosts their confidence and encourages initiative. It also frees you to focus on higher-level leadership responsibilities. Moreover, delegation creates a culture of collaboration and development, preparing your team for future leadership roles. When you hesitate to delegate, you risk burnout and bottlenecks. But when you delegate with trust, you create momentum that drives both individual and organizational growth. So, embrace delegation as a leadership strength. Give responsibility with confidence, support your team along the way, and watch how trust transforms potential into performance. This is how confident leaders multiply their impact and build a stronger, more capable team. Chapter 15: Stay humble, stay hungry. True leadership blends confidence with humility. Staying humble means recognizing that no matter how much you achieve or how far you climb, there's always more to learn and room to grow. Humility keeps you grounded, open to new ideas, and connected to your team. It prevents arrogance, which can blind leaders to valuable feedback and lead to isolation. On the other hand, staying hungry means maintaining the drive and passion that fuels continuous improvement. It's the hunger to push boundaries, embrace challenges, and pursue excellence without settling for mediocrity. Together, humility and hunger create a powerful balance. Humble leaders listen more than they speak, they seek input. Admit mistakes, and give credit generously. They don't lead from ego but from purpose and service. Yet they are never complacent. They have an insatiable curiosity and ambition to get better, to innovate, and to inspire. This combination inspires trust and respect. People follow leaders who are confident enough to be humble and driven enough to keep reaching higher. Staying humble also means being vulnerable, acknowledging when you don't have all the answers. This vulnerability builds authenticity, which strengthens your connection with others. Meanwhile, your hunger keeps the momentum alive. It fuels resilience in the face of setbacks and ignites creativity when the path forward isn't clear. As a leader, embracing both humility and hunger means you lead with heart and vision. You remain approachable and ambitious, confident and curious. This mindset not only elevates your leadership but empowers your entire team to grow alongside you. Remember, the best leaders never stop learning or striving, and that's what makes their confidence enduring. Chapter 16: Lead with Purpose. Leadership rooted in purpose is leadership that lasts. When you lead with purpose, your actions align with a clear vision that goes beyond profits or titles. It's about making a meaningful impact. Purpose fuels your passion and perseverance, giving you strength to face challenges and inspire others. It creates a sense of direction that guides every decision, every conversation, and every strategy. Without purpose, leadership can feel like wandering aimlessly, lacking the conviction needed to rally a team or overcome obstacles. Great leaders understand this deeply. They connect their personal values with the mission of their organization, creating authentic leadership that resonates. Leading with purpose also means being intentional about the legacy you want to leave. It's about asking yourself, why am I here? And how can I make a difference? This clarity helps you prioritize what truly matters and discard distractions that don't serve your goals. Purpose-driven leadership inspires loyalty because people want to be part of something bigger than themselves. It fosters engagement, motivation, and a shared sense of responsibility. When your team sees that you lead with heart and conviction, their confidence in you grows, and they become more committed to the mission. Purpose gives your leadership meaning and keeps you grounded during setbacks. It's the compass that keeps you on course when the path gets tough. If you want to lead with confidence, start by defining your purpose clearly. Let it be the fuel that drives your daily efforts and the beacon that attracts those who share your vision. Leading with purpose is not just a strategy, it's a way of life that transforms leaders and their teams into forces for positive change. Thanks for listening to Boundless Books Audio, where knowledge fuels transformation. If you found this audiobook valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content that helps you unlock your potential.